Is it a thrilling sport or a killing sport?
But back in 2004,
you had politicians trying to shut it down.
I'm not interested in running them out of business. I'm interested in running them out of New York.
And it was losing money.
The UFC was about $40 or $50 million in the hole.
Facing the grim reality of going under, UFC's owners dumped money into reality TV in a desperate and expensive bid to save their company.
$10 million is a huge risk to take.
The Ultimate Fighter reality show was like a Hail Mary for the UFC.
16 guys are going to live in a house and fight to get a contract with the UFC.
But combining savage warriors with the gimmicks of reality TV is like mixing oil and water.
We had to do ridiculous challenges that had nothing to do with fighting.
If we wanted chicken breast and broccoli, it took forever.
You asked for alcohol, I was there within half an hour.
I mean, it was literally like animals claiming their territory.
It was a disaster.
But an unforgettable winner-take-all fight in the show's live season finale can still make the desperate investment pay off.
Dana knew that if it failed, his job was gone, everyone's job was gone.
You know, I hate to use that old cliche, but everything changed.
Everybody and their brother was calling their neighbor, dude, you've got to see this.
The Ultimate Fighter helps transform a soft-spoken executive
we want to make this the Super Bowl of mixed martial arts
into the brazen face of the UFC.
Do you want to be a fighter?
And turns the UFC into a multi-billion-dollar juggernaut by bringing mixed martial arts into the mainstream.
I remember the quote, "It's going to be bigger than the NFL."
Despite its tell-your-friends-about-it brutality, by the mid-90s, MMA remains a little understood ugly stepchild of mainstream contact sports.
That's it. Ultimate Fighting, it's in a cage, it's in an octagon, and it's like a combination of boxing and
wrestling. The minute you say it's in a cage, you lose people's respect.
The UFC was a spectacle. It wasn't a sport. They had guys kicking people in the face, and it was no holds barred. I'm Mike Goldberg, known also as Goldie. I was the voice of the UFC for 19 years.
One man makes it his mission to prevent the UFC from ever going mainstream. The senior senator from Arizona.
John McCain said that the UFC was human cockfighting. Literally.
We don't let roosters engage in cockfighting. We don't allow human beings to go out in the street and engage in this kind of activity.
And I don't think he was wrong at the time, because it was a spectacle. It was, 2 men will enter the octagon, only one will leave.
Banned in North Carolina. Banned in Mississippi.
After McCain convinces 36 states to ban the UFC, the promotion's primary source of revenue walks away.
All of the cable distributors took the pay-per-view option off the table. And so the viewership just went, poof.
With no TV revenue and few places to legally hold live events, the UFC is near death. But in 2001, casino owners Lorenzo and Frank Fertitta tried to get the company off life support by changing the rules of the game.
Lorenzo said, we're not going to run away from regulation. We are going to embrace regulation. And he worked on the new unified rules of MMA. No more, none more of this. You can't do this anymore. And with the changes in the rules, the UFC became more fan-friendly, more user-friendly, if you will, because all of these things that made it human cockfighting no longer existed.
Along with these new rules, on February 23, 2001, at UFC 30, the Fertitta brothers also introduced a new, humble-sounding president.
Dana White, president of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Dana, congratulations on your first show. That's got to feel good.
Thank you very much, James. I appreciate it. We're very excited.
In a 2014 interview, Lorenzo reflects on the hiring decision.
Dana was the perfect fit because he has what you can't teach, which is an incredible drive and an incredible amount of common sense and the ability to understand people and understand the consumer.
Lorenzo pushed Dana into being the forefront, and Dana took it in great strides. My name is John McCarthy. Most people in the MMA world would know me as Big John McCarthy. Let's get it on! Referee for the UFC for 25 years. I always believed in the Fertittas and their ability to make anything gold.
The production quality just evolved massively. And the Fertittas and Dana wanted everything to be an event. They wanted it to be a show. I mean, they took it to a whole different level. The buildings we played, the marketing we had.
They put a lot of money into it. At one show, the fireworks cost them $100,000.
Everybody that's looking from